Governor.
Thank you very much. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. We have a lot of distinguished guests. I guess I'm the guest. They're the hosts, so, you know, it's probably a better way. But I want to say something about my friend Larry Obhoff. Where'd Larry go? Senator, how are you? Good. You're substituting today, right? Don't you? Your legislature's in session, so you're here. And
I got a call from the commissioners letting me know that this was happening too, and it sounded like a great day for the city of Mansfield.
It's a great day. First of all, I want to thank Representative Marilyn John and Mark Romanchuk. Legislature's in session today, but I want to thank them for voting on this bill and providing the money. The state legislature, we asked the legislature to invest in some of our brownfield areas that we still have around the state of Ohio. And this is a couple of the major big picture projects that we've taken on since I became governor, is really investing in Ohioans and investing in our infrastructure. And in some places, when you have an old building like this, the best way to invest in the infrastructure is for the cleanup. So I know this has been a priority for the county commissioners, for the mayor, and for the community. So good to be here. This week, Lieutenant Governor Houston, as well as Director Lydia Mihalik of the Ohio Department of Development, and I are traveling around the state to make announcements in regard to this Brownfield remediation program. What we're announcing today and the next several days is round one. The round one constitutes $60 million. There is more money, so we encourage people to apply for this. But this is the round one, $60 million to help communities clean up dozens of contaminated properties around the state of Ohio. The program is awarding funds in this round to 78 separate projects, 35 counties, that including $54.8 million for 37 cleanup projects and $5.5 million for 41 remediation assessment projects. So some are getting money for the assessment, others are getting money to actually do the cleanup. Among the approved projects is the demolition of this 1918 Westinghouse factory. When it was new, I'm sure it was a great symbol for the community, and it's now time to move on. The city and county leaders have been chipping away at this project, I'm told, for a number of years, trying to complete the cleanup of this site to make way for a better future as Mansfield is working to revitalize its downtown and to move forward. Today I'm happy to announce that through our program, the Richland County Land Bank will receive a $3 million grant to go towards the demolition of this building and the removal of acres of concrete, buried petroleum tanks, and hazardous chemicals from this site. We know that these cleanups can be very, very expensive, and this $3 million will certainly help to get this project done. This is not the only Richland County project, though, to receive a grant. Land Bank is also today being awarded $41,250 for the cleanup of a property adjacent to the Madison Township Fire Department that used to be used for a new fire station until PCBs, which are known to obviously to cause cancer, were found in the soil. So again, that cleanup has to take place. The Land Bank is also receiving $56,250 for the assessment of a lot at 111 Orchard Street that has been the home of various businesses throughout the years, including a tool and die shop, a machine shop, golf cart factory. So it's necessary to make sure there's no hazardous chemicals there and so that they can be removed. Richland County is also on the receiving end of our Ohio Violent Crime Reduction grants, which we announced yesterday. Again, with the help of the state legislature, these grants are to go to local police departments, local communities, to focus on the violent crime problem that we have in Ohio. The Mansfield Police Department will receive a $272 million grant. No, sorry. I wish. Wait, you can give some to the sheriff. All right, let's do this again. I was hurrying, but $272,000 grant. I'm sorry. There could be more. There could be more coming. You never know. To increase the range of its gunshot detection technology to improve response time to crimes involving firearms and to focus on high crime areas. This is a state, as you know, that we focus on local government. That's where the rubber hits the road. Local government does it. Same way with police departments. We have over 900 law enforcement agencies in the state of Ohio. And so when we designed some of this money to go out to deal with the crime problem, we wanted the local community to make the decision about how that money would be spent. We wanted to focus on violent crime, but we wanted to leave it to the local department. And that's what the Mansfield Police Department has come forward with. And we're happy to do the $272,000 grant. Police Department will also receive a second grant of more than $130,000 on behalf of the Northern Ohio Violent Crime Consortium, which includes Mansfield and police departments in Akron, Canton, Cleveland, Elyria, Lorain, Toledo, and Youngstown. The grant will allow these departments to increase crime analysis, information sharing, and community engagement. This is just the beginning of our concentrated effort to give local law enforcement the specific tools that they desire to fight crime through local strategies based on what that local community wants to do. Nobody knows better than the local community how to do these things. To have great places to live, we have to get violent criminals off the streets. That's part of what good communities consist of. And there's nothing that gets in the way of a good community more than violent crime. So this is why our focus is on that. To have great places to live, we also must invest in our neighborhoods and clean up properties to spur economic development. That's the goal of the Brownfield Remediation Program. Just to go back a few years, some of you may remember as Attorney General, I worked with a number of you on a residential project to remove abandoned homes in Mansfield. Through our Moving Ohio Forward Demolition Grant Program. So I like to think this is kind of a continuation of what we started a few years ago when I was the Attorney General. So we're very, very happy to be here to make these announcements. I want to thank the county commissioners for being very aggressive in regard to this grant and making sure that we knew how important it was. Let me invite the commissioners to come up. I think Cliff Mears is first and Tony is second, and however you guys want to do it. Come on up.
Thank you, Governor.
Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you all for being here, and thank you, Governor. I'm Richland County Commissioner and Land Bank member Cliff Mears, and I used to work here. I'm a former Westinghouse employee. In the spring of 1981, I was a 20-something, goes back a few years, and I was just finishing up my quarterly exams in the MBA program at the University of Toledo, and I got a call from Westinghouse in Mansfield asking if I would be interested in interviewing for a job in industrial relations. At that time, there were still 1,800 people working here, and quite a few more buildings than there are standing right now. So I got out my map. You all remember what a map is, right? Okay. I got out my map and found out where Mansfield was, interviewed, and I got the job. So Westinghouse relocated me here with my wife of then 7 months, Cheryl, the one with the camera there. And as it turns out, I was the and as it turned out, I was the last out-of-town recruit that Westinghouse did, and I know that for a fact because part of my job was recruitment. So here I was in the spring of 1981, new wife, new job, new community. I was pretty excited to work here in Mansfield in Richland County. So for me, this is meaningful and it's rather personal because Westinghouse, again, brought me here to Mansfield, and frankly, for me, it's come full circle. At one time, Westinghouse employed thousands of people. At one point, their payroll exceeded 8,000 people. 8,000 people. But now it's time, as the governor said, for this building to come down and for us to clean this area up. So to that end, I'd like to wholeheartedly thank Governor DeWine for his support in this first round of Ohio Department of Development Brownfield Awards. I'd also like to thank a number of others as well. One of those is Matt Pesci, environmental specialist at Manikin Smith, for his tireless commitment to this initiative. To Bart Hamilton, Richland County Treasurer and Chairman of the Land Bank, Andy McGinty, Richland County Deputy Treasurer, wherever he is. There he is, over there. Amy Hamrick, right there. She's the manager of the Land Bank, and she took care of all the endless and very important details in this project. I'd like to thank John Burton for his legal counsel and the rest of the staff of the Richland County Land Bank. And of course, I want to make a special shout out to my fellow Commissioner and Land Bank member, Tony Vero, without whose vision, persistence, and energy we wouldn't be here today. Tony was the catalyst behind this project. So thank you all for your kind attention. And now please welcome my friend, Richland County Commissioner Tony Vero.
Thanks, Cliff. Some of you know this, so if you're about to hear it, it's the same stuff, but some of you may not. Mr. Governor, I don't know if you know this, about a year ago, we formed what we like to call in Richland County the Westinghouse Team Force. Very creative bunch in Richland County. And the focus of that group, there's a lot of people back here and out there, was to return this former Westinghouse site back into use as part of the continued revitalization that has been taking place in downtown Mansfield for the past 5 to 10 years. We also know, I think you were a little busy running a state during a pandemic, I believe. And we also know you probably spent many days, you and your staff, taking some difficult phone calls. I can't confirm if Richland County placed any of those phone calls. Emma, I don't know, maybe. But, you know, it wouldn't be fair if you had to hear some of those tough phone calls if you and your staff also had to hear thank you for today. Obviously, it's a big day for our county, and we need to be fair, and on behalf of Richland County, we want to extend our sincerest thank you today for helping the Land Bank bring these 14 acres, which was the former Westinghouse property, back to life. So thank you on behalf of Richland County. Thank you. You also have some staff members we need to thank. One of them is Richland's own Tammy Puff. Tammy, raise your hand. We love Tammy. You have a tall lady standing in the back, Emma. Thank you, Emma Cardone, Haley Dunahay. If you don't promote them, Mr. Governor, Richland will be happy to steal them when we turn the site back into production. So, again, we want to thank you. So, a lot of people have asked what is next for the Westinghouse, and I know my friend Jennifer Keim, local historian, who we like to call Holly History, she has threatened me with bodily harm, and the Land Bank with bodily harm if we don't go through the necessary preservation mitigation. Did I get that right, Jennifer? Okay, so she has been tasked to come up with an excellent concept to preserve the history of this giant, once beautiful building, but to preserve what was a part of our community and one time employed 8,000 people. So we're going to do that. And then the next piece is we'll get to work in the environmental. As you can see, we have 14 acres. We've had borings done. Matt has assured us we got results coming here in the near future. And so once we get the environmental in order, hopefully we can get this cleaned up with the money awarded today and continue the growth of this community. So in closing, Mr. Governor, I want to thank you for coming to Mansfield today. I think it's pretty obvious that this is a very, very special day for Richland County and downtown Mansfield. So again, thank you on behalf of our county, and thank all of you for coming. We are very, very excited for the future of this site. And with that, thank you all, and we'll open it up for questions.
Thank you. So any questions from the news media?
Governor, you had mentioned the aggressive work done by the county in terms of pursuing this grant. Could you illuminate on that?
Well, they know how to use the phone. Let's say that.
One of the things that I think Richland County and others may run into is the timeline. Under the budget guidelines for using this money, it's got to be used by next June. Is there any thought toward extending that due to the scope of the many projects that are going to go on around the state?
You know, that's really a question for the legislature also, but we're going to see how this thing works. Look, the goal is to get moving as quickly as we can. I think everybody wants that. The local officials want it. The community wants it. We want it. So we're going to look, if we get some stumbling blocks in some communities, we'll figure out how we can work it out. I mean, we're here to help. We're not here to pull money back. We want this money spent. We want it spent on this project. And let me just also say that one of the things that we're seeing across this state, you know, we have a number of legacy cities, great cities. And what we're really seeing in the last several years is communities coming together to revitalize their downtown, to really bring them back. And that's, to me, very, very exciting. I'm seeing local communities coming together, local initiative, because it doesn't happen, it doesn't work any other way. It's got to be local. But one of the things that we're doing, and you're going to see this in some other money that we're going to ask the legislature to spend, is for more money to go to local communities so they can revitalize that core city. It's just very, very, very important. It's a question of quality of life. You know, the quality of life in Ohio is great, but we have a series of what I would call mid-sized cities around the state of Ohio. You know, old industrial cities that really can blossom and come back strong because of what people are doing. We want to help. This is one way to help. We're going to have other things coming forward where we'll help as well. So, who else? Okay.